Hola otra vez, chicos, ¿cómo están? Vamos a ver el curso juntos. Lo vamos a ver desde la perspectiva de un sandbox, ¿no? Un sandbox es un curso que está creado, pero que no es oficial todavía. Es porque este es un nuevo curso, entonces todavía no se ha hecho una realidad, exactamente. Ya se va a convertir en realidad, pero esta es la única forma, ¿no? De ver el curso y ver juntos qué es lo que vamos a estar haciendo, ¿no? So we're going to take a look at this class. It's in a sandbox right now because it's in the process of being created. But of course, by the time you take it, it will be a reality and you'll be able to see it all. But if it looks slightly different than what you see, it's the same. So don't worry about that. Okay, I'm going to make this courseware completely in English so that we can kind of have a really great frame of reference together. We can all be looking at the same thing. But of course, the course will be mainly bilingual. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind. All right, so let's look at this course material together so we can kind of know where everything is. Everything in the class that you are going to need is going to be in this section called content. Everything is tied in here. So everything that you need to see is going to be tied in here. You can see your syllabus directly in here, your course schedule directly in here. And then you'll be able to see that I have divided up the course into the topics that we will be covering throughout the semester. So Latino, Latina, Latinx experience, right, is going to be our first section. That's what we're going to cover the first couple of weeks of class. Then after that, we will talk specifically about Latin American film. And what we will do is we'll probably watch sections of each of the films listed. We will not watch the whole things, probably because we won't have time, but we'll watch sections of those films, or I may require you to watch some of the film outside of class so that way we can come into the class and discuss it. Afterwards, we'll do some reading. So what I wanted to do was kind of mix it up, right? Do some visuals, some reading, some visuals, some reading, so that way it would be a little bit kind of different. So we're going to talk about Latin American poetry, and we'll read a lot of different authors, but we'll read some female authors and also some male authors, both. So we'll get a good mix there. And then we'll talk about some theater. Now, the theater, don't get scared. It looks like a lot of reading, but we won't cover all of those works. I know that it's going to look like a lot, but it won't really be a lot. Whenever we actually go into it, what I'll be doing is I will be picking sections of these works. You won't read them entirely. You'll have a couple of scenes of the work that you'll read. You will be given a context, right? So the overall context of the work to how to fit it in. And we may, because it's theater, right, we'll probably watch scenes of these works also in class so that we can kind of get a visual, because theater is very visual. So we'll do that. Afterwards, we will do some fiction. I wanted to do novels because novels are so beautiful, but we don't have time to do novels. It's such a short class. So instead of novels, we're going to do some stories. Now, you may notice that there is no textbook listed, and that is because I have created this entire class using OER. So Open Educational Resource, and that is so that you do not have to buy a textbook. So everything that you will read in the course will be available right here inside the course content. So if we go, for example, into the first week, that's the start of the class, you can see, right, that your reading is going to be right here. Everything is available in the PDF. Everything that is listed is something that I want you to read. For the theater pieces, I'll select scenes for you to read because they're quite extensive. But for mainly, right, if it's listed there, I want you to read it. And you'll be expected to come in and kind of be prepared in class to do that. Okay, so the only other thing that you'll need to do is, so let's look at the syllabus together. This is an honors class, or it's an honors elective. So you will be expected to come into class and really be prepared to dig into the information, dig into the course. And so I'm excited about what that would mean for you and for us as we kind of explore these topics together. one other, just a quick thing, right? So the syllabus is listed here. There are some addendums, like what to do when you have COVID, what to do having to do with the college and policies and things like that. The main thing that you want to look at is you want to look at the syllabus, right? That's going to tell you how you're going to be completing this course. So you'll see that there are some quizzes. You have quizzes that you do every week. And then on weeks that you don't have a quiz and a discussion board, the discussion boards are short. They're like half a page, right? So you'll have a short quiz. The quizzes are anywhere from 4 to 5 questions. They're not long. They're really mainly contextual quizzes. So they're meant to give you some background information on the author and on the works themselves so that you just kind of have a framework to go off of. The discussion boards are kind of a cultural component that are meant to assist you in knowing more information about a certain cultural context that Latin American people would probably know about or would be aware about. So I have just picked some. This is not a conclusive list. It is not an extensive list by any means. There are lots of other events in Latin American history that are important. But these are just a few things to just kind of give you a context for some of those things that we'll talk about. You notice that in-class proof of reading, or that is to say proof that you have actually read the information, is a part of your grade. And that is because we will be doing extensive discussions in class. And I want to see that you've actually done your reading. And so that's a part of your grade. Otherwise, for each section, you will be required to do a 1-page essay. You would think that a 1-page essay would actually be quite easy, but it can be challenging to put everything you want to say into 1 page, and it's quite a skill. So I had 2 graduate classes that required me to write 1-page essays, and I found them a lot more challenging actually than writing a 5-page essay where I have all of this information I can spread over a very long essay. So I like the idea of a 1-page essay. It makes you be succinct. It makes you be to the point. It makes you get right into the information and none of this like extra filler stuff that I'm not really a big fan of. And so you will be writing those 1-page essays. Now it does mean one thing though. You're just going to be handing in 1 page. So that 1 page better contain concrete, detailed information. It must have evidence to back it up, and it must be specific. There will be no, you don't need any word filler. If it is 1 page of basically, vague general statements, I'm not going to be happy. I'm looking for 1 page of good, concrete, detailed work. Right? So I've only given you 1 page because I want you to make that page the best possible page. Now, here's something that's interesting about this class. As it's a bilingual class, you can write both of the discussion boards and these 1-page essays in any language you choose, right? So you can either write them in Spanish or you can write them in English, whichever language you feel the most comfortable with. So I'm happy to read your essays in Spanish if you want to give that a try. I think that would be great. If you feel more comfortable in English, you're also welcome to try that. So no need to worry about that. Okay, so the last thing that you will do is you'll have a short story at the end that you'll write those 2 pages, and you'll also have a final exam, which will be a cumulative final exam. One final thing that you can do if you choose to do it, you can replace the final exam and the final written assignment by reading one of the 3 books listed here, right, which is 3 modern Mexican authors, and by discussing the topic given with regards to those authors. So that's another thing that you can do if you'd like. So the other thing that I just want to show you really quickly, just so that you can kind of have an idea for where you're going to be at, is if you look in the course schedule, right, you will see that you have certain weeks that you have a quiz and certain weeks that you have a discussion board, okay? And all of the links to the reading and everything else can be found directly in here. Okay, so everything that you need to do is found directly in here. For this first week, what you need to do is you need to do your reading, right? So go ahead and get started. It's not very extensive. It's just to give you some context for the Latino, Latina, Latinx experience. And you'll also need to make sure that you do the I got to know the class quiz, right? And after that, you also need to do your background reading quiz for this week. Okay. And your discussion board. You have a short article reading on Spanish speakers in the United States. So all of those things you'll go ahead and get started on. And I will see you in class. I hope that that has been very informative. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this class. I hope you're excited too. And I can't wait to see you in class. Bye-bye now.